Hello everybody out there in Fusion Land. My name is Shane O'Farrell. I come from Dublin in Ireland and I'm currently living, residing, writing in Vienna.
Could you tell us a bit about your musical journey?
Growing up at home, we've always been surrounded by Irish songs, from my grandmother to my aunts to my uncles at the weekends. Irish songs were my first introduction to music. Then came, I suppose, the Beatles and the usual. My mum and dad were into the Stones, and as I was younger, I listened to a lot of music, but I inevitably came back to my roots. It's almost like the salmon swimming back upstream, to find the inspiration in the deep or shallow rock pools of their own tradition.
Did you study music at college?
I studied animation, arts and animation, storyboarding and graphics, classical animation actually, but my love was storyboarding. I loved concept artwork, and it's kind of something that's strangely enough stood to me and helped me develop in songwriting, because you learn to tell a story. It's worth its weight in gold to know how a story works, start, middle, end, we all know that. But, subplots, development of characters, development of melody, hook lines, all of these things are little techniques you use maybe in a 3-minute movie while you're on stage. It was only when I went to work in Australia that I really took up the gigging part of it live. Before that, I was in a band and we got approached by 4 labels in London. And young, naive, and didn't choose that route. But I went to Australia to work in animation. But it was really then that I took it seriously. I started gigging at night, Irish bars, pubs, trad sessions. And I really got my teeth into it then. And I think that's when the real kind of love developed, or maybe longing, who knows, because I was away from home.
How has your work changed with musical influences and life experiences?
But it's not just the music or musicians, it's actually the culture. I was brought up in a very, I suppose, Dublin household where songs and stories were massive in our growing up and tradition. And as a result, from input from my father, my granny, my great granny and my mother, I just delved into Irish tradition and folklore and mythology, and I've a gra, as we would say in Gaelic. I've a love for all things kind of Gaelic or Celtic, like standing stones and sacred sites and things like that. And I mean, that's the tradition I come from, and it makes a lot of sense to me. And even travelling around Austria, I find a lot of these places, it could be in England, could be in Scotland, even in France or Spain, but I find myself charged by it. I find myself going back into the old traditions. And as I say, it's like that salmon returning home. The more I write now, the more relevance it seems to have. When I gig around small towns. I might do sofa concerts, I do bigger venues, but I really get to sit down with the people and hang out and understand them, and it's not just doing the big gig where you rock in from town to town and you're out the next morning. You get to hang around for a day and you move on to the next town, and everybody has a story to tell. I think that's the point. And learning, like in Vienna or Austria or Germany, there's some beautiful nuggets of wisdom in all of these people. And you find as well when you're at the grassroots in Europe just how different and alike we all are.
What does music mean to you?
Music is brilliant. It's absolutely an amazing art form. It's an amazing conduit. It's such a powerful force, and it makes me so happy. And I know everyone around the world really comes together with music, whether you be, from Europe or the Americas or Asia, Africa. It's just, we all love music. And I know if you're talking about cultures, music is inherent in the Irish culture. It's part of the backbone and the beat of the land. It's the rhythm. It's the rhythm of the rivers, and the music is in the wind, and it's in our voice and our language. And even when we're having a few drinks, we just can't really stop singing. It's part of what we did as growing up, and in my family it was always about singing. And my granny just used to love us to get us out there and sing. And it brings people together. And look, I mean, I would have met yourself or the gang from Fusion, and that's been they've been great, for the last couple of years, and I love what they're doing. And even this is quite cool.
Run, Grail, run, run like your sons and daughters have done through your history.
I see you have one of our Fusion bags. Any thoughts?
Fusion saved my elbow joints, and for a long time my arms were growing very, very long, and it was actually because of my girlfriend Sabina who suggested maybe you should get a good guitar bag for your back. And I literally stumbled across Fusion in Dublin, and I haven't looked back since. And as you can see, I even have the little baby here, which is incredible. It goes everywhere with me. I can't wait till Fusion are doing sleeping bags, because I'll never have to put one down. It's brilliant. Yeah, and I just want to wish everybody a very, very happy St. Patrick's Day. Have fun, wear some green, agus Bonachtaí lá le féile fádra agus bon sultas, slán.